Like me, you've just bought yourself a lovely new Tesla. It's shiny and full of gadgets and high performance, but it's just not enough buttons. So I picked up a set of these sexy buttons. These are innovative Bluetooth buttons with replaceable batteries and re-stickable backings. I've got a kit of 4, but you can use up to 8 at a time. They connect to your car via an ODB2 adapter and come with everything you'll need in the box. So, slightly nerve-wracking, I'm going to pull apart my new car. First up, give yourself some space by moving the driver's seat forward so that you can use the supply pry tool to take off the panel below the rear air con vents. On my Shanghai-built Model Y in 2022, it's held in with 5 clips. This reveals a connector. Before you do anything else now, power off your car in the safety menu. Be aware that simply opening or closing a door at this point will power the car back on, so avoid that. With the car powered off, disconnect the plug in the back. Basically, this just requires a little bit of wiggling. And then connect the splitter connector supplied with the sexy buttons in line. It only goes in one way, but there's not a lot of room in there, so getting the panel back on cleanly requires a little bit of care. Make sure the ODB tail is hanging out so that we can then connect the adapter. I realise this is not very exciting to actually watch, but I did want to show it in basically real time so you could see how quick it was to install this. Lights on the adapter should come on, ready for pairing with your phone. It's worth pointing out that this adapter will work with other apps as well if the setting is allowed in the Sexy Buttons app. So you can use other apps like Scan My Tesla to access all the performance and battery data that's available in the car if you're so inclined. You can hide the adapter easily beside one of the front seats and you'll never even know it's there. It's all good to open and close the car doors again now. Next up, grab the app for your Apple or Android device. I bungled shooting this a bit, but got it working on both devices actually pretty easily. Just hit connect and wait for it to find your adapter. Incidentally, once you've paired your phone or phones, you can turn off the visibility of the adapter unless you're in the car itself for security. You might find at this point that the device wants to do a firmware update, but this only takes a few seconds. Then you can pair up the buttons by tapping on the plus and long pressing each button in turn in the app. And now the fun starts. Tap on a button in the app and select from the varied and actually always growing options for each button. As of now, you can control autopilot, open up all of the standard things, and also pop open any door. Perfect for ride-sharing drivers whose passengers can't decipher the Tesla door handles. You can toggle the acceleration modes with a press or, and this is actually unique, fully adjust the level of regen braking in a way that the car controls themselves don't allow. This is something I've found really handy when maneuvering around in car parks, for example. There's all the standard media controls, of course, if you prefer to have these controls off the steering wheel, charge port and mirror controls, nifty heated seat controls so my kids can control their rear seat heaters without having to reach the screen. You can adjust climate, which is good if you want to turn down the fan without having to look at the screen while you're driving, for example. Dedicated buttons to adjust the wipers when the auto mode is just a bit too enthusiastic. And likewise controls for indicators, if you prefer, and headlight settings for again when the auto mode is misbehaving. A voice command button which your passenger can reach, and even various horn toots. There's child lock controls, plus a bunch of things like interior light controls. You can turn on all the lights with one button. And the one that I use a lot, because I'm a nice guy, the thank you hazard light blink when people let you into the traffic flow. Track mode doesn't work on my car, but if you're less of a cheapskate than me, yours might have it. Okay, so just to demonstrate, this one was programmed to open the boot. Just like that, and it will close it. Obviously, it only works if your car is unlocked, but you can literally just keep buttons in your bag or around your garage to open charge ports, the front, etc. But mostly, these buttons are going to get hidden in the car in a way that doesn't break up that nice minimalistic look. I've got one hidden at the back for the kids' heated seats, a little thank you button on the back of the steering wheel. I should also add that they have a little light so you can actually know what state a toggle function is in. Then I have a couple behind the screen for stuff like glove box and regen or media controls. They take 2 seconds to reprogram, so easy to change as needed. A couple of other things. You can also use your door handles as extra buttons for specific controls. For example, hold the driver's door handle for 4 seconds and it will open your frunk. The rear door can be used for the charge port. And the app itself also has an interface showing your live speed, torque, various function statuses, and even detailed battery stats, as well as large indicator lights. If you add a generic Tesla phone mount like I've done, you can turn your phone into a functional driving display if you're that way inclined. So that's the quick overview. Obviously not for everyone, and the most fervent Tesla touchscreen fans may well think it's all a bit silly, but I've found sexy buttons a well worthwhile add-on.